Have you ever looked up at the night sky and felt a sense of wonder, feeling that you're part of something vast, something ancient? Well, today we re-journeying back in time to a single night that forever changed how we see our place in the universe. We're talking about January 7th, 1610. This is the story of how one man, with a newfangled invention, pointed his gaze towards Jupiter and shattered a belief that had stood for over 1,500 years. This isn't just a story about stars and planets. It's a story about courage, curiosity, and the relentless human drive to uncover the truth, no matter the cost. Get ready, because you're about to see the cosmos through the eyes of the one and only Galileo Galilei. To truly grasp the bombshell Galileo was about to drop, we need to understand the world he lived in. Imagine a universe that revolves entirely around you. Not just you personally, but all of humanity. For centuries, this was the accepted truth. The geocentric model, championed by the ancient Greek astronomer Ptolemy, placed the Earth squarely at the center of everything. The sun, the moon, the planets, and all the stars, they all dutifully circled us. This wasn't just a scientific theory. It was deeply woven into the fabric of philosophy, religion, and everyday life. The Church, the most powerful institution of the era, endorsed this view. It was a perfect, orderly, divine creation, with humanity at its core. To question this was not just to question science. It was to question the very order of God's universe. It was a comfortable, human-centric reality, and challenging. It was not just a career risk, it was a life risk. Into this world steps Galileo Galilei. By 1609, he was already a renowned mathematician and professor in Padua, Italy. He was brilliant, ambitious, and possessed a famously sharp tongue that often got him into trouble. That year, he heard whispers of a new Dutch invention, a spyglass that could make distant objects appear closer. While others saw a tool for merchants or military men, Galileo saw a key to unlock the heavens. He didn't just copy the design, he radically improved it. Within months, he had crafted a telescope that could magnify objects 20, then 30 times their size. What would you do with such a powerful new eye? Galileo knew exactly what he wanted to see. He turned his telescope away from the ships at sea and pointed it towards the moon, the planets, and the stars. What he found would ignite a revolution. Through his telescope, the moon was no longer a perfect, smooth celestial sphere. Galileo saw mountains, valleys, and craters, just like the ones on Earth. He saw that the Milky Way wasn't a hazy cloud, but was composed of countless individual stars, invisible to the naked eye. Each observation was a small crack in the old model of a perfect, unchanging heaven. The biggest discovery was yet to come. In the cold winter of early 1610, Galileo turned his attention to the planet Jupiter. On the night of January 7, 1610, Galileo observed what he initially thought were 3 faint fixed stars near Jupiter, all lined up in a neat row. This was interesting, but not earth-shattering. But Galileo was a meticulous observer. He kept looking. The very next night, he checked again. To his astonishment, the stars had moved. They were now on the other side of Jupiter. This was bizarre. Stars don't just rearrange themselves around a planet from one night to the next. What was going on? Night after night, through cloudy skies and freezing temperatures, Galileo obsessively tracked these mysterious points of light. He sketched their positions in his notebook, a logbook of cosmic discovery. He realized they weren't fixed stars at all. They were moving, but they weren't wandering off on their own. They were tethered to Jupiter, dancing around it in a predictable, repeating pattern. On January 13th, he spotted a 4th one. There was no doubt left in his mind. Galileo had discovered 4 moons orbiting the planet Jupiter. He had found a miniature solar system, clear and undeniable example of celestial bodies revolving around something other than the Earth. He had found the smoking gun. Why was this such a big deal? Think about it. The entire geocentric model rested on the principle that everything in the heavens orbited the Earth. Yet here, plain as day, were 4 celestial bodies that clearly did not. They orbited Jupiter. This single observation provided powerful, direct evidence for a competing theory, the heliocentric model proposed by Nicolaus Copernicus decades earlier. Copernicus had suggested that the Earth was just another planet, and that all the planets, including ours, revolved around the sun. His idea was mostly theoretical, a mathematical convenience with little hard proof. But Galileo's discovery of Jupiter's moons, which he cleverly named the Medicean stars after his powerful patrons. The Medici family was tangible proof. It showed that other centers of motion existed in the universe. If Jupiter could have moons, then the Earth's own moon didn't make it unique. And if other bodies could orbit a planet, it made the idea of planets orbiting the sun seem far more plausible. Galileo knew he was sitting on dynamite. He rushed to publish his findings. In March 1610, just 2 months after his initial discovery, he released a short, explosive booklet called Sidereus Nuncius, or the Starry Messenger. The book was an overnight sensation across Europe. It made Galileo a superstar, the most famous scientist of his age. He secured a prestigious and lucrative position as the chief mathematician and philosopher for the Grand Duke of Tuscany. But with fame came scrutiny, and with scrutiny came danger. The old guard of academia and the powerful hierarchy of the church were not pleased. His findings directly contradicted scripture and the established Ptolemaic system. His enemies began to mobilize, accusing him of heresy. The discovery of Jupiter's moons was the beginning of the end for the old universe and the start of a long, painful battle for Galileo. His continued advocacy for the Copernican system would eventually lead him to a famous trial by the Roman Inquisition in 1633. Faced with the threat of torture, the aging astronomer was forced to recant his beliefs that the Earth moved. He was sentenced to house arrest, where he would spend the rest of his life. But you can't undiscover something. The truth was out. The moons of Jupiter kept orbiting, different to the decrees of men on Earth. Galileo's courage to look, to question, and to share what he saw had set in motion a scientific revolution that could not be stopped. Today we know these 4 moons as the Galilean moons: Io, Europa, Ganymede, and Callisto. They are not just historical footnotes. They are fascinating worlds in their own right. Io is the most volcanically active body in our solar system. Europa is believed to harbor a vast liquid water ocean beneath its icy shell, making it a prime candidate in the search for extraterrestrial life. Ganymede is the largest moon in the solar system, even bigger than the planet Mercury. And Callisto is a heavily cratered ancient world. Modern spacecraft like the Galileo probe and Juno have given us breathtaking close-up views of these moons, continuing the legacy of discovery that began with a simple telescope on a cold January night over 400 years ago. So, the next time you have a chance to look at Jupiter in the night sky, even with a simple pair of binoculars, see if you can spot those tiny points of light huddled close to the planet. As you watch them, remember January 7th, 1610. Remember the man who first saw them and understood what they meant. Galileo's discovery teaches us a timeless lesson, that curiosity is a powerful force. That evidence must be our guide, and that one person has courage to look up and ask why can change the world forever. The universe is full of wonders just waiting to be discovered. All we have to do is look. Thanks for joining us on this journey through history and space. If you enjoyed this story and want to learn more about the moments that shaped our world, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss our next video. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Till next time, keep looking up.